Hello and welcome to TB3 Sports Talk episode 55. This is our Derek Brooks episode, and it's fitting because we are talking Bucs. Football is your Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 1-0, and we are feeling good about this electric, efficient, amazing Bucs offense and some good things about the Bucs defense. So I guess we could just get into it, but before we get into the game, what were your guys' just emotions on Sunday? Getting Bucs football back and getting a big win.
Oh, man, it was electric. I had the privilege of going to the game, seeing it with some buddies, man. Like we said, we're going to try to get TB3 correspondents at every single game. But, yeah, I'd say the Bucs fans, they showed up. They showed out. They were loud, engaged. It was a great crowd. And, man, just another beautiful Bucs win. And it just makes the whole week good. Every day, no matter what goes on at work and life, it's like, hey, the Bucs won this weekend. I'm chilling.
That's what I love.
I am chilling.
That's what I love about football, man. One win gets you through the whole week.
It does. It does.
And
like Rays are losing all week. Who cares? Bucs won.
Yeah, literally.
Exactly. The Rays, they boosted the weekend for sure.
Yes, huge series win against some old foes that we don't like.
Saturday.
That was
that
awesome.
Might be a movie one day.
That was, just special. Then you roll that into, man, I know this isn't TB3U, but I was hoping to roll a Taylor Walls home run into a USF Bulls upset. What a day that would have been, but we'll get into that in
That'll
TB3U.
Be when pigs fly, man.
Yeah. But, yeah, as we're starting right now, just a friendly reminder that if you clicked on and you were expecting some college football content, that is our other video series that is TB3 University. Probably on the screen or down in your suggested. That will be episode 4 coming up for TB3 University. And also, first, I'm going to say it now. Subscribe, like the video, and comment. What should we have them comment? Do you guys think the Bucs will beat the Lions this weekend? Yes or no? And if you want to give a reason why, we always love to hear you guys' thoughts. But
yeah, back up your takes. Come on.
Back up your takes.
We do it here all the time.
But before we get to the Lions, we got to go back to this big 1-0 Bucs win against the Commanders at home.
Yes, we'll keep it short and sweet for you guys because this was totally one-sided, in my opinion, and the opinion of probably just about everybody. But, yeah, we go back to 4:25 Eastern, Raymond James Stadium. The cannons are firing, the fans are out, beads are flying around.
So there was no rain?
There was no rain. It was supposed to, apparently.
It was raining all, down here in the Palm Harbor, Clearwater area. It was raining a bunch. I think it was raining at USF. I know that for sure. So kind of crazy, no rain for the Bucs game.
God had his hand over the season.
He was keeping it open, yeah, because I did not want to see a delay. We were rolling. I didn't want to see anything like that because you never know what happens after that. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, it stayed sunny. I would say there, in the north side of the stadium, you could see dark clouds. And I was like, oh, man, it's going to rain. And my buddy was like, oh, you didn't know it was supposed to rain? I was like, no, man, I got Bucs on my mind. I got Bucs fever. I don't care about the weather. But, yeah, it stayed away. So it was nice. Anyways, though, the Bucs get the ball to start off. They march right down the field. They say, we want the ball. We want the ball first. And unfortunately, it would end in only a field goal, though. But it would be a 56-yarder by Chase McLaughlin. We're not going to say it yet. Just bear with me. Hold on. Then later in the first quarter, Bucs have another promising drive again, but it has only resulted in 3, so it's 6-0. But then here we go, second quarter. It finally happens, something that we are pretty used to in Tampa Bay, but it is sweet every single time. Mike Evans from Baker Mayfield, 17 yards, touchdown. The cannons are firing. Mike Evans caught ball. Fire the cannons. Where are you? 13-0 game. Then, though, the Commanders would fight back a little bit and score a touchdown of their own. It would be Brian Robinson. Many men. Which he gets a touchdown, makes it a one-score game. But here we go. Chase Money McLaughlin. We said, guys, he needed to make 4 field goals in a row to get his money back, and he does here. It only took him one half of football to do it, and the Bucs go into half 16-7. Third quarter, Bucs come out firing again. This time it's Chris Godwin. Catches a ball, is stumbling out of bounds, reaches over, across the pylon, touchdown, Tampa Bay. It is 23-7. But hey, the Commanders, they fought hard. They are not good as the Bucs, clearly, but they fought hard. Jade Daniels, a rookie sensation, second overall picked in the draft. He'll rush one in. Honestly, Winfield should have got the stop. They kind of, I don't know, it was a weird hit. He hit him, but like the momentum didn't stop. It was weird. Anyways, he gets a touchdown, so it's 23-14, still kind of close, but that's when the Bucs run away with it. The rookie in the fourth quarter, 32 yards out, Baker Mayfield rolls. He looks wide open. Jalen McMillan, touchdown. The rookie, the sensation. He could be the rookie of the year, guys. Just keep that in mind. He could be the rookie of the year. He scores his first touchdown ever. It's 30-14, and the Bucs weren't quite done yet when Mike Evans, he wanted another one. Baker Mayfield saying, if it's there, I'm throwing it to you. And he did. He threw it to Mike Evans. Doesn't matter where the ball is. Mike Evans will get it, man. And the Bucs go up 37-14. Commanders get a touchdown in garbage time.
Chris Paul.
Yeah, to cut the lead to 17. But that was it, man. The Bucs win. Bucs win 1-0, 37-20 over the Commanders.
Man, what a game. I mean, we knew coming in that this was definitely a favorable starting game for the Buccaneers. We knew that this was a team that was rebuilding, rookie quarterback, and we were kind of hoping. I know Will had the concern that early on that could be a stumbling block for the Bucs. It could have been, Commanders have a pretty underrated defense, and the Bucs made them look silly. The Bucs made them look like a high school defense. I mean, what an performance by this Bucs offense. I mean, just from every aspect of the game, just blocking, passing, running, catching. I mean, anything. It was just fantastic, and I mean, I was so excited to see what the Bucs offense looked like. And they should just take a bow because that was everything I wanted to see and more in an opening game for the Buccaneers.
Yeah, the offense was humming, the run game was there, and the pass game was phenomenal. I think you have to give offensive coordinator Liam Cohen a bunch of credit because this offense just fits this team. It fits them perfectly. The way they're designed, I love the screen games, the open running concept, and timely runs. I think that's one thing, timely runs. And you especially saw in the second half where the Commanders were so gassed in that Florida sun, and then you're popping, 10-plus yard runs with Bucky Irvin, the phenomenal rookie sensation out of Oregon. Timely runs like that, wearing out the defense. It was just perfect. Being able to set up the pass with it as well. I absolutely love what I saw. And I think you can see, man, we are a lot better off than we were with Dave Canales.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how your offensive coordinator goes to be a head coach somewhere and you upgrade at the offensive coordinator position.
Who would have thought that?
It is very crazy, but I'm so grateful for what Liam Cohen is going to bring to this offense. And like Will said, I mean, first game, 1-for-1, we had 100 yards rushing. That did not happen many times. I know the Bucs averaged about 89 yards last year, and it was even worse the year before. 112 yards rushing.
Sure, it was 80. I think it might have been lower than 89 last year.
I think the year before was like 70-something. It was 89. I saw it
89,
I saw it. But the Bucs are averaging 112 rushing yards per game because that's what they got on Sunday. And, I mean, it was headlined by, Bucky Irving. He had 9 carries for 62 yards. It's definitely causing some stir amongst the Tampa Bay media. We are not going to be a part of that because you look at the other running back, and he was pretty darn good too because not only did he rush for 31 yards and had some nice runs, had some unlucky runs where he was just had no chance. There was just people in the backfield, nothing he can do, but we're not going to talk about that, other Tampa Bay Bucs media companies. He also had 75 receiving yards. So people forget about that, but Rachaad White and Bucky Irving are going to be an absolutely lethal running back duo, and I'm excited to just see them continue to flourish.
Yeah, Colby, thank you for bringing that up because it infuriates me that the Buccaneers go 1-0 to start the year, get a huge win, not only just get the win like they're supposed to, but do it in dominating fashion, and then certain members of the media have to bring up controversy. They have to start stirring the pot, causing trouble. Listen, I watched this game 3 times. I watched it in person once, and I rewatched it twice, okay? I analyzed every single Rachaad White run and Bucky Irvin run, and the majority of the time Rachaad White was in and got carries, the offensive line was getting blown up. And it makes me kind of mad. Just makes me mad because it's like, dog, we're running to the left side and Tristan Wirfs getting blown up. Okay, like a couple times it was Graham Barton. Like there's one, Bobby Wagner just comes in and Barton gets ran right back into Rachaad White. He's a rookie, though. Stuff like that will happen. Bobby Wagner's a Hall of Fame linebacker. But, like, Tristan Wirfs, man, getting blown up. You're your best left tackle in the game. I guess it happens.
We did say, though, the Commanders, probably the strongest aspect of their team is the defensive line. They got some dogs up there. So,
they do have some dogs. But it just seemed like too many times they're getting blown up. And that's going to happen. That doesn't mean that Rachaad White isn't the better running back. And quite frankly, I kind of like the way it is. You have Rachaad White start the game. Maybe he gets some tough carries, but he's also a receiving threat. And when the other team is getting tired of you running down your throat, then you throw in fresh Bucky Irving, and he'll get 10 yards a pop, and that should be fine. We don't need to just make Bucky Irving the starter because he had better stats. If you look at the game in such a narrow lens like that, you're a fool. You're a gosh darn fool. So there's no controversy needed.
Rachaad White was also really good in pass protection too, as well.
Yeah,
got to give him some credit for that. And also, I do want to go back to giving Bucky props because we're not putting him down. He had a great game, and we are excited for his future. I will say, I got to give a lot of credit to Jason Light in this situation because it was pretty evident last year that the Bucs were kind of missing the thunder to the lightning of Rachaad White. They needed that thunder, and it's kind of interesting to see that the thunder that the Bucs have right now. Their second running back is, a small guy. Bucky Irving is not a big guy, but his running style and his ability to fall forward, break tackles, all that stuff, he is a thunder, no-nonsense type running back, and it's just very, very interesting to see how Jason Light in the front office filled a need of, a bigger, less cutting, patient running back, someone who can get the tough yards, someone that can, like Will said, come in when the defense is tired and just run it straight down their throats. And they got it with, a smaller back. But it's all about what you do on the field and how you run and your results. So I got to give a lot of credit to the Bucs general manager Jason Light and his staff because that's just kind of – I was thinking about that. I was like, that's just a really fun fix to a problem that we probably, looking back, us, non-GM guy, front office people would have never really thought as a solution to the Bucs' problems.
And, he's a smaller guy, so he can fit into smaller holes, so – I love it. This is a great running back duo. And now teams have to be ready to play against both guys, so they're looking at double tape because both guys are coming to the game pretty evenly.
Yeah, special. And then, as we go, as we can stay on skill players, got to give it up for Chris Godwin first. Just a spectacular game from Chris Godwin. I think he might be going for a career year in 2024. I'll say it.
Contract year.
Contract year, and I think he's going to get a big contract. He might play so well this year that he might be too expensive for the Bucs to keep. And that's a sad truth, but I'll enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah, go on a high note.
Yeah, exactly.
I figured he would have kind of a breakout year, especially after seeing what Liam Cohen was saying in the training camp. And that's fine, okay? If he doesn't stick around, I'll be very sad. I love Chris Godwin, but I'm going to enjoy him if he continues to play like this. He played phenomenal. Just another strong target. And that's the best part about having two just amazing receivers like that is when you put your best corner on Mike Evans, okay? Well, you still got to cover Chris Godwin on the other side, and he's just as good. You know what I'm saying? And then hopefully McMillan and Trey Palmer can continue to make plays like that, and you really give teams trouble because they're not going to be able to cover all three. Somebody's going to get open. So I hope we continue to see more of that. Kind of like I feel like Cooper Kupp or Puka Nacua in the Rams offense. That's where Liam Cohen came from. So he's familiar with that type of system, getting guys open like that consistently when you have two good receivers like that. So I'm hoping we'll see that with Chris Godwin.
Yeah, and then you got to think about the Rams team. They had other weapons. They had Van Jefferson in the mix there. I think Josh Reynolds was on the Rams at some point. I know he's on the
probably
Lions.
In there.
But, they had other receivers that were deadly that could be like your Trey Palmer, your Jalen McMillan. It wasn't just a two-headed monster. It was a full arsenal of weapons that the Bucs can throw at you. And then
scheming, getting guys open.
Yeah, exactly. The motion was fantastic on Sunday. Godwin had 8 catches, 83 yards, and a touchdown. And you guys have probably already seen this because you guys are true diehard Bucs fans. But if you have not, Chris Godwin had a 90.5 PFF grade. Like we've mentioned, PFF is like a school grade. It's out of 100. It's, a mathematic equation to rate how good you did as a football player in your position. And Chris Godwin's 90.5 PFF grade was the best amongst any receiver in the NFL in Week 1. So he had a great game. Like we mentioned, Mike Evans with 2 touchdown catches. We all saw that clip where Baker Mayfield was saying, if they're not doubling Mike, it's like cheating. He's that good, and their connection has kind of been there from day one. I mean, I remember the opening week last year, Baker Mayfield's first game as a Buc. Mike Evans gets a touchdown in that game, and they just have a special connection, Bake and Mike, man.
They really do. I just love seeing it, and I'm glad, and that's another thing. Shout out Jason Light for keeping these guys together. They brought back Baker first, and then they extended Mike, gave them that chemistry back. Something that I think is important, showing that, hey, believe in you, Baker. We're signing our best weapon back, and saying to Mike, we want you to be a Buck for life. So shout out Jason Light for doing that. But yeah, Mike, man, is he ever going to slow down? I don't think so. Because we were talking about that last year. We're like, this could be it. He played really great, 1,000 receiving yards again in a season, but you never know. And then he comes out and does this. So I'm not sure if he'll ever slow down.
Special. And then on the offense, there were seven different pass catchers on the day. You got Godwin, Evans, McMillan, Palmer, Otten, Irvin, and White all caught a pass. So you love to see them spread around the wealth. That's kind of how you measure a healthy offense. I know there was a couple weeks last year, a couple games where, the amount of people that caught passes were, 4 or 5, a lot less. So it's good to see the wealth being spread. Would like to see maybe the tight ends get a little bit more involved, but you got to take what the defense gives you, and the receivers were open on this day. Anything else? 9 for 13 on third down, chat. 9 for 13. Really good. Yeah, got to give credit to Baker, man.
I just think tight ends. I really want to see Cade Otton take the next step. Really got to see him become a threat.
I did see, though, that tight ends is definitely going to be utilized, but they're going to go with a lot of one tight end sets. So that could mean more for Cade Otton, could mean more playing time. But I don't know. It'll definitely be kind of a week-to-week basis how much the tight ends are involved in this Liam Cohen offense, because they're going to play with 3 wide receivers so often. So I heard that in an interview, so I think it was Baker Mayfield talking. Yeah, 9 for 13 on third down. Give a lot of credit to Baker Mayfield. That was amazing. He was
that might have been
out.
His best game as a Buck.
It was his best game passer rating-wise in Raymond James Stadium. I think his only better game that I think might have been better was Green Bay last year.
Green Bay was also good,
was pretty
but
special.
I don't know. I mean, this guy, he
was efficient.
He looked perfect.
Yeah.
Looked perfect.
And it calmed any concerns anybody had, because I came in it wondering, like, oh, man, this could be his off year. But, I mean, for game 1, we're looking good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, put him on the MVP watch list for sure. This could be a special year for Baker.
This could be the year.
This could be.
Before we get to
Have the Bucs ever had an MVP?
Maybe back in the day with one of the defensive guys.
We'll have to get someone on.
I doubt it.
I don't think we have.
No, I don't think
Brady
so.
didn't win it with the Bucs.
No.
We definitely haven't had one in our recent string of success in the last 25 years, so I'm guessing we haven't.
Well, it's such a quarterback award, and we haven't really had very many good quarterbacks in the Bucs history. So I don't know. We're doing our own trivia right now. I think while they look it up, we can move on to, unless you guys have anything, to the Bucs defense.
No.
O-line, I hate to dog on Tristan Wirfs again, but the only sack of the day was given up by Tristan Wirfs.
Really? That's crazy.
Yeah. I hate to dog on him, but I was watching film, and not that he played terrible. He has a PFF grade of 77.3. That's actually 4th best on your Bucs, but giving up the only sack and then getting blown up in the run game a couple times. Hey, like we said, it's a good Commanders D-line, but come on, Wirfs.
Week 1, he had some contract dispute. Maybe didn't have his full, repetition and routine that he's had the other off seasons. So maybe he's shaking off some rust.
Yeah, maybe.
That's probably what it is.
But I just can't believe there's something I thought I'd never see is if the Bucs gave up one sack and it was Tristan Wirfs who did it. That was just kind of crazy.
Yeah. I've seen some film on Graham Barton, just some breaking it down. I know Will said there was a couple times where in the run game he got beat up, but man, He looked good, man. He, for the most part, he did a good job running. No bad snaps, nothing to note that way. And
looked like a pro, man.
Yeah, he looked like a pro. He did, and some of the stunts he was picking up to pick up blitzers was pretty special. So love to see that. Both the guards, really nothing to note about them, which is good. You don't want to know about your
Yeah,
O-line.
I saw Malk make some plays, some bad
Malk
ones.
was out there running, man.
Yeah, he was out there getting after
Yeah.
it. I thought Gedeke looked phenomenal. Goodness sakes, what a relief. Weight off my shoulders, man. I was super...
He came out of nowhere, man.
Super concerned Gedeke was not the guy, but now it's like, man, I trust him with my life.
Literally. Joel, did you see the MVP thing? No MVP?
No MVPs.
No MVPs in the Bucs history.
Just the Super Bowl stuff was clogging up everything.
All right, so we answered that question. Defense?
Yeah, let's get
All
to
right,
the D,
defense.
man.
So just to flip the Bucs converting 9 for 13 on third down, the Bucs defense held the Commanders to 2 for 8 on third down. So, when you win the battle on third down, especially in NFL, this isn't like college. There's not as many chunk plays and crazy plays that happen that you see in the college game. You win on third down, you're going to win the game most often. And I think the Bucs defense really did struggle a lot of games, especially early on in the season, getting off the field. And we're going to talk about a team coming up that in both games the Bucs struggled to get off the field, and I'm referencing the Detroit Lions. So it's good to see the Bucs come out and hold the Lions to 2 for 8 on third down. That is, if you on defense hold that clip for opponents' third down conversion percentage, you're going to be in a good spot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think for the most part the defense played pretty good. I have some concerns going in now.
A little bit.
I do have some concerns, and number one, I think we'll start off with the pass rush. I think the pass rush was not there for most of the game. I think it was pretty concerning, in my opinion, just because I felt like Jaden Daniels had way too much time. I know this guy's shifty. I know he's elusive. Maybe sometimes defenses play a little differently when you have some elusive quarterback like that. You necessarily want to just keep him in the pocket, not so much rush up the field at him. But I do think that's got to change if that's not the case, because, they only came away with, 2 sacks?
3 tackles for loss.
2 sacks, yeah.
2 quarterback hits.
2 quarterback hits, yeah. You got to get a little better than that. Mm-hmm. You have to get better than that. And you have to, like I said, you're playing a rookie quarterback. This is first action in the NFL with all the starters in, all the vets. You got to make it difficult on him. And I don't necessarily think that Jaden Daniels had a lot of pressure. I don't think he had pressure. I think
especially first half.
And I think like a lot of the throws and a lot of third down stops were just him missing passes. Mm-hmm. And I said that going into the draft, I was like, this guy has some accuracy issues. That's why I'm not necessarily high on Jaden Daniels. And that came to bite him today or Sunday. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a pass rush getting to him or anything like that, though. I will
say the coverage was good on a lot of those throws, too.
They
had to be perfect throws, too. So it's a little accuracy, but you do got to give the Bucs secondary some prop. I will say, Will, I kind of agree with you, but I think the area of weakness for this Bucs pass rush, I think, was all right. I think Yaya Diaby had a pretty solid game. JTS came away with a sack. He had a couple of quarterback pressures and stuff like that. I'll say I think the interior was really disappointing, and most of that comes down to is Kalijah Kancey. We need you to stay healthy, my man. We really need, because I think in a game where you have an elusive quarterback, you have a quarterback that can get outside and you don't want to let scramble, what is very important is interior pressure, and pressure right in his face where there's nowhere for him to go. He just has to go backwards, and then your ends can go in and get him. But not having Kalijah Kancey was, it really hurt, and it's really key for our defense that we have Kalijah Kancey. I think Vita Vea kind of was the same old story of 2023 where I think the rush defense was fine, and obviously Vita Vea does a lot of things that you don't see on the stat sheet or, to the naked eye. But he was kind of non-existent out there. I didn't hear his name very often.
Very non-existent.
Yeah, very non-existent. So I'd like to see, I think the part of our pass rush and our front seven, the outside, I thought was pretty decent. I thought it was the interior that was letting the Bucs down on Sunday.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think JTS played better. I do think, though, the sack kind of
helped him out.
Boosts it a lot.
That's
like
fair.
If he doesn't get that sack, you go, okay, well, What was he? I mean,
He
it's not like he was
definitely-
getting in the face a bunch of times either. Like,
After he got that sack, though, he had a
turned
couple
up
where he was
little bit,
close. Yeah.
Turned up a little bit, but other than that, and Yaya Diaby, I feel like was non-existent too. You didn't really hear his name that called
He had
that
a good
much.
PFF grade.
He did, which again, it's not like I said. D-line's a little different. Not everything has to be about sacks, but you'd like to see him come up, or at least go, oh, there he is. There he's making a tackle. It's like you'd forget he was playing. But I think one thing that's concerning at interior is 100% correct. Vita Vea is one thing, but I think what concerns me is the Bucs' defensive line depth. I know Logan Hall was also out along with Clyde Jacansey, but if we're looking like pass rush grades here, 3 out of the 5 worst PFF grades for pass rush. Greg Gaines, 49.2. Mike Green, 52.1. CJ Brewer, 53.4. That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable, and it's concerning because it's like we can't afford these guys to go down. We need Cansey to be healthy. We need Vita Vea to be healthy because it seems like we got nobody else, and we don't. So you got to stay healthy, and you got to step up when you're in there because you just can't have that happen. Can't have 50s and 40s, 40 grades. It's crazy. I see KJ Britt there for third worst. I guess that's rushing. Pass rush grades. He probably didn't do it a lot.
Yeah. I mean, if we're talking KJ Britt, we can go on the good side and talk about the other inside linebacker that's not a Bucs GOAT.
No, he was also bad on the run too, actually.
KJ Britt. He definitely had a rougher game, but his counterpart didn't. And that was Servace Dennis. My man, Servace Dennis, had a breakout game. Had a game that I think all of us have been waiting to see. We've been waiting to see healthy Servace Dennis, and we saw it on Sunday. 7 tackles, 1 sack, and a tackle for loss, and he seemed like he was everywhere. Popping Austin Eckler on the third down. Just very, very impressive stuff from Servace Dennis, and I love to see it, and I think it's going to be huge going into next week because he is the better pass covering linebacker.
Mm-hmm. And he was headhunting out there.
He was.
He was saying, I don't want the ball. I want him. What a performance by Servace Dennis. And if you're a fan of the show, if you've been a fan of the show for a long time, you can go back to episode numero uno. I was saying, man, watch out for this guy. Watch out for Servace Dennis. I know whole season came and went. He battled some injuries. But this is a guy, this is how this guy can play. He can be a superstar for you, and he's just got to stay healthy. His number one enemy is himself. Getting injured. Can't have it happen. But when he's on the field, he is electric, and he can make plays. He can really impact this Bucs defense. And Todd Bowles said it, too, at the beginning of camp. Servace Dennis is going to be a big part of this defense, and he has to be. And I'm excited to just see a taste of it, of how he can be. So hopefully he can take it to the next level, continue to be successful in the defense.
Are you guys any concern about the Bucs rush defense? The Commanders had 138 yards and 4.6 yards per carry, but the caveat is 88 of those yards were by Jaden Daniels.
Yeah,
and a lot was scrambling.
I was just going to say that before you even got to it. Yeah, not concerned at all. I think when it was a true running play, handing off to the running back, the Bucs did a good job. But, I mean, we'll get to in keys to the game. That is going to be huge for this upcoming matchup. But no, I'm not concerned with the run game. Look, you're going to play – I'm just trying to think the rest of the year based on who the Bucs play. Yeah, mobile quarterbacks. You're not going to see it in the Falcons.
No.
You play them twice. You're not going to see it in the Saints unless Taysom Hill is in, but then you know what's coming.
Lamar, you'll see Lamar.
Well, you do see Lamar, so that's one.
Mahomes and Young are kind of scramble to throw guys. Young's just bad, but
yeah. If Young
you
can,
get what I'm saying.
If the O-line can block, maybe Young.
Bo
but yeah,
Nix?
probably just about.
Bo Nix running. I saw him hit a sweet spin move.
He was running.
Yeah, Bo Nix maybe.
I'm not gonna call him a scrambler though. I'd say probably just about one left. The rest of the year would be Lamar. So you're not gonna see that too often. At least this year.
No,
do the
you really
Chargers
Herbert, no.
Herbert's
Dak's not running anymore. Yeah, Raiders.
Dak's ankle.
Raiders might be going wildcat offense by the time we hit them.
Yeah,
Schedule's not too bad for that. No.
Yeah, so he probably won't see something like that outside of Lamar. And even then, Lamar doesn't really want to run as much. Jaden Daniels, I think, does. He's a rookie. He hasn't learned yet. That's another knock I have on him. He doesn't know how to not take those big hits. He does not protect his body very well, and it's going to cost him.
Joel, any other extra thoughts on the defense?
Look, I mean, overall, good. It is concerning to see all the cornerbacks go out, so I was saving this point, so I'll say it now.
Yeah.
They should have let Mike Evans play cornerback. That would have been so stinking cool. And maybe that's the reason why we waited until today. Today may have been the first day they've been reporting this, but come on, guys. Let Mike Evans in. Like, could you imagine him getting an interception on the first day after his contract? I can only dream.
Yeah, if you guys don't know what Joel's referencing, Mike Evans. So on Sunday, the Bucs did have multiple corners go down. Zion McCollum had concussion-like symptoms. Bryce Hall, praying for you, man. That was a gruesome injury. Really feel bad. Praying for
what happened exactly. I mean, I was
he
there.
Got rolled up on, man.
But like, did it look bad on the replay? Because obviously they didn't show it.
They didn't show the replay.
Dang.
I wasn't really paying attention to after, and they came back after commercial and they said we will not show you the replay. It's too gruesome. He dislocated his ankle, so.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Because, I was wondering, they didn't show it on the screen.
Yeah, he
and they, immediately got the cart and cast.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, when I went to watch the replay of the games, the game replays, it's not even in there.
Yeah, it was a dislocated ankle and a fractured fibia. So, pretty gnarly injury.
I've had that injury.
Yeah, I was about to say, you've gone through that. It's probably something similar to what happened to you.
I'm part machine now. I have metal in me.
But, praying for a recovery for Bryce Hall. He went down. Zion McCollum went down. Am I missing someone else went down?
And Tweez is probably out.
Tweez is going to be out for a couple of games, but that was the final, one of the final plays in the game. But we had to actually move Christian Eisen over to play outside cornerback, a position he hasn't played since college. He did a really good job. Got to shout out Christian Eisen. After the game, he says he's just a football player, and that's what he does. Love Christian Eisen, one of my favorite players
oh my goodness.
on the Bucs.
Yeah, he's becoming one of my favorite players. Let that be known, Bucs fans. This guy, undrafted, free agent out of Rutgers. Where is Rutgers, man? New Jersey. Handpicked by Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles said, I want him. I want him. Bring him in, Jason. Bring him in for me. That's exactly what the Bucs did. If you remember, flashback last year, week 1, interception on Kirk Cousins. Very, very huge interception, to say the least. This year, steps up when he's needed, plays lockdown corner on the outside.
And now he's going to start and play safety next week in Detroit.
Is he actually?
Yeah,
okay, good.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. I had not seen that yet.
Yeah.
I was saying, put him at safety.
He is. Well,
he can play anywhere.
That's his position now. That's what he was listed at the depth chart. But he's the Bucs utility player. He can play anywhere in the secondary. That's pretty special,
let's just get a team full of Christian Eisens.
Yeah, that's awesome.
11 Christian Eisens out there.
They'd fight their little tails off for sure.
That would be a gritty team.
That would be a gritty team. But
we're not going to do this. But if we have so many receivers, let's just play Mike Evans at cornerback this week. I mean, we got plenty of receivers depth.
Who would be the best? Okay. Who would be the best receiver you think to play DB out of the Bucs receiving?
McMillan.
Or
it might be Trey Palmer. It might be Trey Palmer.
That's a hard one. I don't know. I'm trying to think it's size wise.
You're vouching for Mike, man. I think you should stick with it.
I mean, I will, but you don't want people getting hurt. Mike's probably one of the bigger guys out there, right? He's pretty big.
He's big. That's what I'm saying. I like my corners.
You're not throwing any back shoulders on Mike at corner. No, for sure not.
You're not throwing anything over the middle either. Mike will kill you. Flashback. Who was that who got in Jameis's face and Mike Evans just came and speared him?
Was it Lattimore?
Was it? I think it was Lattimore.
Well, that beef's gone back years, man.
That's one of my favorite plays because Jameis is pointing in his face and Marshawn Lattimore just gets an inch close and out of nowhere just you scream, BAM!
Yeah,
I love Mike.
Man, those are peak. I hate the Saints days.
See,
my god,
he's itching to tackle. He wants to play
does
corner.
He wants a headhunt.
Hey,
yeah.
We'll see. Hopefully, no corners go down. But
our
if
multi-million-dollar man playing corner.
Well, they're all multi-million.
I don't know if you've
our multi-million-dollar man.
Is McCollum gonna be back this week? Actually,
I saw something. Greg Almond says he practiced today. He's limited
Okay.
practice, so I think that's a good sign for him playing on Sunday.
See, with those concussions, man, you got to sit in a dark room. They make you take this test, and it hurts your brain. I've never felt this, and I had to take one because they thought I had a concussion, and it's like the worst test in the world. It's on a computer, and you have to. It's all like memorization and playback type stuff, and it literally like hurts your brain. You can feel it melting in there.
Well, fair enough. Yeah. Do we move on? Bucs Lions?
Yeah, I think let's go to the keys of the game. Your Tampa Bay Buccaneers go into Detroit this Sunday and face the Detroit Lions. Some people on this panel said they are going to win the Super Bowl, and that was me. I think the Lions are a very good team, but there's something that gives me hope about this week. Watching the Lions Sunday night against the Rams, they are definitely beatable. They are 100% beatable, just like any NFL team. But these Lions might not be as good as I thought, okay? And I'm sick of them. Lost to them in the regular season last year. They ruined Creamsicle Day. We were all here, TB3 Watch Party. We were in the studio.
Man.
Embarrassing. Lose to the Lions. Then, after just an electric playoff game on ESPN, me and Colby were there, rocking. They go to Detroit and lose again off of a bad interception. I'm sick of losing to them. And I want that to change this week. And you know what, gosh darn it, I think it's going to happen. And here is my game plan. The Bucs have to stop the run. You have to shut down this run. The Lions got Jahmyr Gibbs, and they got David Montgomery. I believe that's the other guy, right? The other guy, those are two great running backs. Jahmyr Gibbs, young guy out of Alabama. I think it's only his second year. It's a dangerous duo. If you watch overtime of last week, if you have NFL Plus Premium, you can watch the replays. If you watch overtime, the Lions completely dominated in the run game, marched right down the field and scored a touchdown. They did not pass the ball one time. It was all Montgomery running the rock. But if the Bucs can shut that down, I think their biggest weakness is a guy named Jared Goff. Not Ryan Gosling. Jared Goff. You got to shut down the run game, and you got to get this guy to pass the football. Not only that, you can't give this guy all day. You can't do it. You have to get after the quarterback. Yaya Diaby. Joe Tyron Shainka. Listen, bro, I dapped you up before the game. I said, let's go, bro. You got to have a good game. He was like, yes, sir, I got you. Guess what? He gets me a sack, okay? But, hey, I'm asking for two now. I know you're listening to this shit. I know you're listening. But, hey, JTS, Vita Vea. Hopefully, I don't know about Clyde Jacansey. Hoping he plays. Hoping.
Didn't practice today.
Duh.
But we'll see. It's Wednesday.
We'll see.
We're recording on Wednesday.
See. Gotta get pass rush on this guy, because when Jared Goff was pressured by the Rams front line, led by Jared Verse, Braden Fisk, Florida State Seminoles, if you didn't know, really, really great players.
Did it make you want to cry?
There's a thing for me with the NFL. I'm happy seeing any Seminole success.
No, but did it make you want to cry thinking about your current team?
No.
Okay.
NFL. Once I get to the NFL, it's like anything they do, I'm like a proud dad.
Okay.
That's how I feel.
All
even though some of them are older than me, it's like, that's my boy. But yeah, you got to get pressure on him. Make him throw under pressure, and I guarantee you the Bucs will come away and win this game easily. That's something they haven't done the past 2 years.
Yeah.
They haven't been able to stop the run, and they've given Goff all the time in the world to pick them apart. Okay,
Yeah.
He's still a good quarterback, but you need to get some pressure. The Rams don't have the greatest defense, but when they got pressure on him, they were forcing bad throws, and he threw a pick or two, I want to say.
Yeah, and then if you look back at last year, to piggyback off your point, Jared Goff in the 2 appearances against the Bucs in the regular season, 353 yards passing against the Buccaneers. In the playoffs, 287 yards passing. And this mostly comes back to the fact that the Bucs did not get pressure on the quarterback. They did pretty good job stopping the run in the regular season, but it didn't matter because they couldn't get pressure on the quarterback, so the Lions were able to convert on third
and a
down.
lot of times it was third down and long.
Yes.
Bucs would do a good job on first and second, third and long, no pressure. And I think it falls on Todd Bowles' head a lot. You got to be able to dial some stuff up. You can't just rush 4 down and hope for the best. throw some unique blitzes in there. Something I didn't like, actually, about him is I saw way too many times where Yaya Diaby would be on the line, and then as a ball snapped, he's dropping back into coverage. Why?
Let him go get him.
Let him get after the quarterback. He led the team in sacks last year. What are we doing, Todd? I'm your biggest defender. And if nobody's a fan of you, Todd, I have ceased to exist. But come on.
Will's been backing Todd Bowles for a while. But another thing to piggyback on of why quarterback pressure is so important is this will be a pretty thin Bucs secondary on Sunday. We are hoping to have Zion McCollum back on one side. He practiced today. Today is Wednesday again. But still has concussion-like symptoms. He's going to have to pass the test. He's going to have to be free of those symptoms to play. The NFL just won't let you play with it anymore. We will still have Jamel Dean, who had a really good game on Sunday. We just want to mention. But star all-pro safety Antoine Winfield, I think Will mentioned it, but he will be out this Sunday and will be out for a couple more Sundays after.
He
just stinks, man. Hurt his foot on one of the last plays of the game. And he's going to miss a few games. So that sucks. Bryce Hall, like we mentioned, cornerback 3 is out.
So he's done for the year then, probably.
He's done for the year. So we're looking at a safety if McCollum starts or a secondary if McCollum starts of McCollum, Dean, Eisen, and Whitehead, who also had a really good game on Sunday. Love watching that guy play. And then you will have newly signed Keenan Isaac back from being a preseason legend. He was signed by the Bucs to bolster their depth because obviously we have injuries. Also, you will have Tyreek Funderburk. Funderbuck. He caught some eyes in the preseason and in training camp, and if he's called into action, I want to see him make a play. Undrafted, baby, out of App
Let's see
State.
Another one.
Let's see
him and Eisen tag team duo. Tyke Smith, let's see you go.
Yeah, Tyke Smith is going to be a key because I was going to go down Sam Laporta. So without Antoine Winfield Jr., the Bucs are going to have to find who they want to guard Sam Laporta. He is a really good tight end, had a huge season last year. And I think there's some options. I think we just mentioned Servachier Dennis. He had a really good game on Sunday, and his thing is kind of pass coverage. He's been known as a really good pass covering linebacker, so he could be, if he's able to keep up with Laporta, his size could do really good things in coverage against Laporta. You also have Christian Eisen, who is a great cover, corner or safety, wherever he is, but the size could be a problem. And you also have Tyke Smith. Tyke Smith has been kind of disappointing so far, I'd say, preseason, regular season as of right now. But Tyke Smith is in that nickel position because Todd Bowles likes size in the nickel position. That's why he's there. So that size could help him in a matchup against Sam Laporta, and we need him to have a big game. He's the turnover guy. He's turnover Tyke. We want to see him create a turnover because winning the turnover battle will be huge. That whoever wins, these are two really good teams, two playoff teams from last year, and will probably be playoff teams this year. Whoever wins third down, wins the turnover battle, is going to win this game.
Yeah, and I think I look at the Rams. You brought up Sam Laporta. I look at the Rams defense. I don't think they're that much better than the Bucs. I think the Bucs are way better, even with some of the injuries we have. I think the Bucs have a way better defense, and the Rams were able to shut down Sam Laporta. He only had 3 catches. Amon-Ra was very non-existent. I know Jameson Williams had a huge game, but you shut down Amon-Ra, St. Brown, and Sam Laporta. That's a win for me. I think the Bucs should be able to do the same thing. They got to. If the Rams can do it, I know for a fact the Bucs can do it.
Joel, anything?
Take the lead and keep it. I was looking at the postseason game. We didn't have the lead at any point in that game, and I think that was the hard thing. Like, we know Todd Bowles doesn't have good clock management, so you have easy clock management if you're in the lead. So take the lead and keep the pace, dominate it, because we know how loud Detroit can get. I never thought I'd say that, but Detroit has fans. So
bandwagon!
Yeah, they're on the bandwagon. Stadium's going to get loud. Let's keep it quiet by keeping them chasing the score.
Yeah, and also another important thing is if the Bucs get in scoring position, this happened in the playoff game, and it happened in week 1 a lot. Come away with touchdowns. Field goals are not going to win you this game. Yeah. In Detroit, there was a couple times, especially in the first half, three field goals kicked. That's a little too much to win on the road at Detroit. You got to come away with 7. And I remember there was a few drives in that playoff game where it looks like you're going good. You kind of get past the 50. You get into kind of no man's land, what they call it, and then drives would stall. And you either have to punt, and McLaughlin had a missed field goal in that game. So got to finish drives.
I think the Lions are very big with Peanut Glenn, their defensive coordinator. I think the big thing with the Lions is a bend but don't break mentality, letting you move the ball between the 40s, but kind of once you start getting close to 20, they start to shut down. You got to be able to break that. You got to score. And
how did they keep both their coordinators, man? How did they do it?
Because I think this is the thing, and I'll get to it in a second. They think it's their year. They think it's their year. They want to win a bowl. But to back up what you said, I mean, you're not the only one saying this. In fact, it was Baker Mayfield who said this. Exact same thing in post game, which was, reporters saying, it's kind of like a perfect game. And Baker goes, well, we had 3 drives in the first half that were field goals, and they should have been touchdowns. And he was 100% right, just like you are. So I think
thanks.
the Bucs see that as an issue, and I said that like they might start struggling, but I think this is your chance now to take the second step, turn those field goals into touchdowns. We love seeing Money McLaughlin, He proved us wrong. He silenced the haters. Maybe we were his biggest haters, but he silenced us. Now it's time. Turn those field goals into touchdowns. You win this game.
So I'll go first because I want to lead this off because we don't have anything else. Time to predict. I think so, and I'm going to lead this. I'm going to lead this off because I don't think you guys hear what I want to are going to hear, like what I'm about to say. I think the Bucs are going to go in. I think this is a much better offense than it was last year. I think that, you only score 6 against Detroit in the regular season. You have a better performance in the playoffs. But I'm just worried about Kalijah Cansey didn't practice. Don't know his status. I think he's a huge key in this game. He had a big game in the playoffs. No Antoine Winfield. I think that's your best overall player on the team, and you're not having him in a huge game. And I just think that the pass rush without Cansey and without, the threat of Winfield blitzing and some younger players playing, especially their first road game in the NFL in a pretty raucous environment, I think it's just going to be a little bit too much for the Bucs. I think it's going to be a hard-fought game, nail-biter, but a heartbreaker. I think the Bucs are going to lose this one 27-24. The Lions win.
Oh, I'll follow that. I think the Lions have our number. Scary game. I hate them, but I got to admit they're pretty good. So I'm going to go 33-24 Lions.
I knew you guys were going to be haters. I knew it. But listen here. The Jolly Roger never loses. And the Jolly Roger is me. Your pick genius. Your pick champion. I'm never wrong. I'm never wrong. I see this game. I see the Lions all the offseason. The drafts in Detroit. This is our year, baby. The Lions, we're winning our first Super Bowl. Nobody's going to stop us. We have our coordinators. We're only getting better. We have a great draft class. Well, what happens first game? You get popped in the mouth by old man Stafford and a washed Rams team. You get popped in the mouth. At home, Sunday Night Football. Dun, 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 dun. Going to overtime and just being able to scrape by. And the Lions are going, man, what's going on? We're not supposed to play close games like that to the Rams. The Rams are a 9-8 team, maybe 10-7 if they're lucky. What are we doing? What's wrong? And then you look at your Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Perfect. Baker Mayfield, perfect game. Mike Evans, all you got to do is throw it up to him. The defense flying around, knocking people's skulls off. The Bucs are ready to go. They are tired of losing. They're tired of hearing how they can't beat the Lions. They got a sour taste in their mouth from last year, and they're ready to get some early season revenge. And it's going to happen this weekend. Your Bucs are going to go into Detroit. They are going to be the dogs. They're going to silence the crowd early, and I think the Bucs are going to come away with this one 34-30. The Bucs are going to win this game. Book it. I guarantee you the Bucs are winning this game. And it's going to be so nice We're escaping Detroit with the win. There you go. Believe, Bucs fans. Believe. The Lions don't want to see the Bucs after how bad they played last week. They don't want to see the Bucs. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you they're shaking in their britches because they just got hit in the mouth and they might get hit in the mouth again, and they don't want that to happen. Bucs are winning. Give it to me.
All right. I hope you're right. But I really hope. I'm rooting for the Bucs, and I will gladly be wrong. Real quick, we'll do Rays in a jiffy because
the Rays suck, man.
They suck, man. So since we last talked to you guys,
here we come,
baby. Let's go.
What was my hashtag? Rays Reborn? No, what was it?
I don't know. The Rays, they did go to Camden Yards, and they won a series against the Orioles for the first time since 2022 in Camden Yards. 2 out of 3 they went on Saturday and Sunday off some good pitching and a couple big home runs by the Young Guns. And then they go to Philadelphia and get swept by the Phillies in all close, tight games with some antics involved. But, fellas, what are we thinking Rays ball?
I'm done with them because every time you get me, like I kept saying it's over, and then the Rays get a couple wins here and there. They go into Camden Yards and they win. They have a magical win on Saturday. I wish I could do the Fortnite L dance on Zach Eflin.
Dang
you
right.
finally had a real crowd. You finally had a real crowd to pitch in front of, and you lose to the Rays. You lose to the Rays, you bum. And Taylor Walls, mister, couldn't hit a beach ball.
Oh, it's glorious.
Blast off of you.
First of the
Runs you
season.
out of the game. First home run of the season. What a magical win. And then it's like, okay, you won one game. You beat Eflin. He sucks. You should do it. You should beat him. He's washed. He's a bum. But then you go out and win on Sunday, and you're like, whoa, am I seeing this right? Am I seeing that the Rays just took 2 out of 3 in Camden Yards? The Orioles? But then you go to Philly and you get swept. Then you go to Philly,
some brutal games,
and you get
heartbreakers.
Swept, and yeah, that's the worst part. Heartbreakers too. I mean, goodness sakes, they pitched so well on Monday. Tyler Alexander pitched amazing. It was just that one mistake that cost him, and then you get walked off.
Kyle Schwarber at that time, by the way, had 6 home runs in 9 games in the month of September. He had another one the night after. Just crazy stretch. Like Will mentioned, Tyler Alexander pitches well. Then you go the next day, and the Rays are actually hitting, and they can't pitch. So
yeah, and then Uceta blows it.
Yep.
No offense. You blew it. You blew it, kid.
Yeah.
And then, you know what? I just wish they should have plunked Castellanos again today.
He's so soft, dude. What are you so mad about? He just threw inside, a fastball got away from him. Who cares? And maybe he was okay that he hit you, and maybe it didn't really hurt him.
He's frustrated.
He's frustrated, but dude, you got hit in the ribs. That happens all the time. You know how many times Rays players have gotten hit in the ribs over the past 2 years?
The Yankees do it because they hate losing to us.
And they do it all the time. And I've never seen a Rays player react like that. I mean, that is just so soft. And, of course, Castellanos hits a home run the next day because of, there was a tragedy. Never forget 9/11. We get it. It was obvious he was going to hit a home run. So it's not fair that, he got that boost after the next day after he gets flung.
And, he's got to be thinking. He's got to be thinking. No,
it's mental now. It's mental
It's got to be all mental
now.
because there's no way it's definitely in his mind after when he's trotting the bases, it's not like, yeah, that's right, man. You hit me, I'm going to punish your team. It's like, oh, man, I did it again. I did it again.
I will say Johnny DeLuca's continued to swing the bat. I think he's almost
looking at it right now. 7-16 outside of today's game against the Orioles and the Phillies. I was trying to find the stats for today.
Batting average?
No, at bats, 7 for 16.
7 for 16. Gotcha. I think it's 7-16. Yeah, he is
basically 7-16.
Yeah, he's playing very well. Very, very well. Love to see him play. Junior had a couple good games in Philly. He was having kind of a little bit of a rough stretch, but he had a 3-hit night yesterday, and I don't know. I didn't catch much of the game today, so don't really know. I guess I could look, but yeah, Junior played pretty well. Shane Baz has been on a really nice streak.
Shane Baz has been really good. I thought his start, I know it was a loss, but he pitched very well on Friday. against the O's, and then
Today was a loss, but he pitched well,
very good too. Well, I think they took him out early. That's actually one of the first times I think I'll blame Cash for he took him out early, and then Drew. But then it's like you put Drew in. Drew shouldn't have blown the game like that.
Well, that was unlucky. Did you see what happened? It was a infield 2 out, first and third, just a swinging bunt, and it's just in the perfect spot.
Yeah, but he
got him in that situation.
He got him in that situation. I know it's unlucky, but don't get a man on first and third.
Yeah, but I think Shane Baz is kind of turning into one of the most positive parts of this race season so far. I think he's turned into someone who I thought maybe would be a fringe contender for the 2025 rotation, maybe the 5 starter, to looking like he could be, a 2 or a 3, maybe a 4 next year in the Rays rotation. So I've been pretty excited to see what I've seen from Shane Baz. Pretty consistent. He wasn't getting that swing and miss stuff when he first came up from injury, but he was just learning how to pitch in the bigs, man. He doesn't have a lot of innings, so I've loved what I've seen from him.
Don't let me down.
Zach Littell, your boy, had a nice start in Baltimore.
Yeah, good for Zach Littell. He's just a solid guy, man.
Solid guy.
But yeah, Shane Baz, please don't let me down. I can't see another Rays pitcher rise to promise and then start tanking.
Mm-hmm.
Cough, cough. Josh Brown.
You gotta believe, man. He's got his ERA down to 3.28.
That's good, man.
Good.
That's
Real
a good and
Real
good amount. How many innings does it say, Joel?
Let's see stats.
I'm trying to think of any batters that have caught my eye. Yandy,
He had a good game. He had a ding dong.
Yeah, he's up to 280.
On this season, 60 innings.
Wow, man, good for Shane Baz, man. That is a good amount of innings.
He's got a nice beard on him.
Yeah, he needs it. He's pretty ugly.
Oh, he's so ugly.
It's just his eye. The problem with him is his eyebrows. He's a handsome feller, in my opinion. It's the eyebrows. They're too blonde, so you can't see him, so he looks kind of weird.
Okay, I'll believe you on that one.
He looks a little albino.
All right, I get that. That's true. Yeah, it kind of happens with his beard, but it's showing.
That
a
can't
little
be
better.
my quote of the show.
He does not have eyebrows.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. So it gives the albino look.
Yeah.
That cannot be my quote. I'm serious. If I see the post tomorrow episode, it says you look albino, dude. I'm really
I'm not doing that. That's crazy.
Someone had to say it.
He look albino. That's funny. Or
maybe do.
What are we doing? I think we did wrap it up.
I think we got to wrap it up.
That's all
Let's
we got
go.
with the Rays.
I mean, what do they got coming up?
We got 4 against the Guardians Thursday through Sunday. And Red Sox at home next week. Don't know how much we'll get before we record there. But, I mean, we'll predict the Guardians series.
They're splitting the series.
Yeah.
They're splitting the series.
Yeah, they're splitting the series.
I bet you they
agree with
lose
that.
game 1, they win 2 and 3, and they lose game 4.
I don't know, Pepe on the mound.
All right, they're going 3-1, and they're losing the 3rd game.
All right. I'm saying they're splitting too. Give me Ben Rortvedt, bang, home run.
Give me Morel.
I like it.
I think he could hit a home run there.
I think he could too. Anyone can. It's a short park.
Progressive Field.
Yeah, short park.
They
moved it in the wall?
I probably said Johnny DeLuca last week, but he's too hot not to pick 2 weeks in a row.
Like it. He's hot on the field and in our hearts. Whew. Oh, Johnny.
Progressive
Go, Johnny,
Field, man.
go.
I'm pretty sure I saw a dead guy out there one time, like outside of it.
Oh, okay.
We were walking out of the stadium, and I think there was a dead guy like on the street.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Cleveland's a bad city.
Hey, sometimes you got to check.
They got good hot dogs though. In the mustard. Yes.
Really?
I had a hot dog there. You got your bun, you got your dog. Mac and cheese, okay?
Okay.
Fruit Loops. And I'm like, there's no way this is good, and it was amazing. It was like one of the best glizzies I've ever had.
All right. And on that note, we're going to wrap up TB3 episode 55. Again, comment down below. What's the best glizzy you've ever eaten? If you've gotten this episode and we see one of those comments.
Are you a glizzy gobbler?
Yeah. Okay. Whoa. But also, comment down below, will the Bucs beat the Lions this week? And if so or if not, tell us why. Back up your take, as Will said. And if everyone follows Instagram, Twitter, not Facebook, Spotify, YouTube, all that good stuff. Like, subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. Have a beautiful and blessed night.